Hi friends, welcome back to my studio. I'm Katie and today we're doing some 2026 planner layout experimentation. So if you've been hanging around here a while, you know that one of the reasons I love talking planners is because I am fascinated by the interplay of graphic design and psychology and the ways that graphic design can kind of get you to do things or prevent you from doing things. I mean, not prevent, but motivate or demotivate or influence you. I just really find it pretty fascinating, and I love to play with layouts. I love to see what small shops are doing. I love the whole thing. That's part of why, while I think it would make a lot of sense for me to be a bullet journaler, I really enjoy being part of a community where we play with other people's ideas and stuff. So this is the first of what will be at least 2 experimentations. This week we're doing the Faded Chronicle, and next week we're doing Just Scribble. So we'll talk about Just Scribble next time, but let's talk Faded Chronicle. So I've been right in this sterling ink B6 Slim horizontal common planner most of the year. A few weeks in at Hobonichi weeks, but most of the year I've been here. I love this planner. I've been very happy with it, except for the lump. That is what caused me to go away for a few weeks, but I've been very happy with it. I've played with it a lot of different layouts, a lot of different things. Really happy, but I'm not a person who stays still, and I have just learned to accept that about myself. So when I saw the Faded Chronicle new layout, and I will post a picture here and a link in the comments. Hers is a standard size one, so about an inch taller than B6 Slim is, but I've tried to recreate that as well as I can here in B6 Slim, and I think I'm pretty close. These here are probably shorter, but actually I have the right number of squares in the dailies, but some of the things are a little different, and that's, just the nature of the beast. But I did the best I could. I think that it will be good enough. So I'm curious. So the sterling ink one is mostly a blank gridded page with a couple dates down the side. I mean, there are some lines here, but they're super easy to ignore. So that's given me a lot of freedom to do layouts like this, where I went to a vertical, layouts like this, where I had an hourly in the middle, layouts like this, where I've divided it into different columns. A lot of freedom. Layouts like this one, because hers doesn't have the whole grid necessarily behind it, are really cool, and I find them really fascinating. But I wonder, if the pre-made containers. So there's something very satisfying that I find about a container that is made exactly the right size for the thing that I want. But there's also something limiting about that. When you just have a grid page, you can make the containers any size you want. You can move them, you can rearrange them, whatever. And so there is a part of my brain that really is yeah, the little containers. I love all the little containers. And there's a part of me that's yeah, but I love the containers the whole year. And I think if something is perfect, then chances are perfect for me, for the way I want to use them, that I could be happy in a container thing. Probably not for more than a year, maybe not even for the entirety of a year, but for a long time. Because if you have the perfect containers, then you don't have to worry about it. And it's perfect for those weeks where you're just not feeling creative and you just need to put some things on the paper. I was not creative here. This was a layout I'd done for months, and there is no decoration, no extra stuff. And 2 weeks in a row, then we started to get a little decor. Sometimes you just want to write your words down and you don't want to put any more effort into that. And I think these kinds of layouts for me are perfect in those circumstances. What I don't know is how many weeks I would feel that way. But I don't know. We're here to play. So we're going to play. I'm going to do like a little plan with me, feel it out in this Faded Chronicle. The Faded Chronicle planners are already up for pre-order. She is in Canada, so that's worth knowing. I believe her products are made in China. There is like a US announcement about tariffs on her website. So, you know, go in with your eyes open on that. But they look really cool. I'm most interested in the Traveler's Notebook size, which has this layout and then 6 blank pages immediately after each weekly layout. We might be messing with that a little in this video too. She also, for the people who loved the hybrid planner from Twines and Paper, but who do not want to get involved with Twines and Paper again, Faded Chronicle is doing a hybrid planner in both A5 and B6, and Just Scribble is also doing one in B6. So check the links below, and there's some cool offerings this year. I was a little afraid that the combination of tariffs and the bad paper and whatever was going to mean that we were going to have fewer new cool options in 2026 than we did for 2025, and so far that seems not to be the case. If we get around to decorating, I think I'm going to use this Planner's Anonymous Peach Promenade, but we'll see. I definitely need to get like the words on the planner first. Put the names in here, but I believe these boxes across the top have the day of the week in them. And the other thing about the Faded Chronicle that I don't have demonstrated here is there's a bunch of like shaded bars. And that's part of the thing that gives me pause. I couldn't really do it here. I was going to be losing too much space between the B6 Slim and the Traveler's Notebook. But I do think that's going to be a thing that's going to make it harder for me to make it exactly the way that I want. But the other thing is with the daily pages right afterwards, and hers are just blank grid pages. They don't have the date or anything. There's 6 of them. That gives me some freedom to not necessarily have all of the information that I put on a page be on this page. So that'll give us some freedom. I think, so on a normal week, and I'm just coming back from vacation, here is my last week. And the week before was prep, and so I didn't really have a very normal week either. So I'm a little out of practice, but on a normal week, I have my like time-specific events, either in an hourly or in the horizontal. I have meal planning for both lunch and dinner. I have some small lists for mail and errands, sometimes groceries, sometimes not. I like to write down my books. And then I have a task list that's not for a specific day. This is honestly more habits than anything else, and a monthly one as well, and then my day-specific tasks here. So those are the things I'm going to want to try and fit into this layout. That's kind of what I always have going, even though they move around. But I do think I'm going to do a little decor. So let me find some markers that match this so we can do some highlighting, and I'll be back. All right, so I've got the pack of 100 super tips, which is what I like to use for these, but the caps and the colors don't always match, so you can mistakenly end up with a neon. But I've got some good colors here. I love this Peach Promenade kit. I expect this is from more than a year ago, but I think there are probably still ones available on the website. But I love this like dreamy palette. It's so summery. It's so lush, and peaches are in season or about to be, depending on where you live. Here in Michigan, it's very close, but not yet. So we're going to use that, and I'm going to use this color here, and I'm just going to highlight over where I'm going to write the days of the week, just to put some color down. Maybe I should have done this as one big sweeping line, but I don't remember off the top of my head if this area is shaded on the actual Faded Chronicle one. I kind of hope it isn't, because I think it would be fun to color it in myself, but I know that these bits are. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put this here as well. So I had to get a little creative about the 7 days of the week here. So there are 5 lines to write on the Faded Chronicle one here. So I had to redraw them. And it's a little annoying to try and figure out. Yeah, here. So I'm going to take this white gel pen, and I'm not going to like do a super precise job on whiting out the original lines, but I'm just going to lighten them, like break them up a little so that they don't really distract as much from the lines that I drew, because I don't love trying to compete between the two. I thought about doing the lines that I drew in a different color, so that it would be easy to differentiate them, but I didn't really want to do that. So I think we've like loosened those up a little. The line in the Faded Chronicle one is down the middle, but I have them like shifted just because. And maybe we'll put like some washi tape or something over there so that we don't see the dates. I'm going to write the dates of the weekend at some point, but it's not fun to do on camera, so I'm not going to do it right this minute. Maybe the next time I break for whatever. Okay, so I think I want this left column to be for events and the right column to be for tasks. Usually here in a B6 Slim, so B6 Slim and standard size are almost the same width. I don't usually need half a column, but here it's a little narrower. I don't really need this much space, but I don't know where. The other place I could put events is up here, but I was thinking I'd do meal plans there, lunch and dinner, and then events here. I think that makes more sense to me. So let's pull up my calendar and we can actually put some events in, because if I don't have any information in here, then I'm not gonna really know how it works. So yeah, I think that's kind of mission critical. All right, I've got my timed events in here, my ice cream tasting. I don't know what time we're doing that, so I don't have a time there. And then in pencil, I write events that are like workout classes that are happening, but that I'm not certain that I'm going to go to, but I don't want to have to keep looking it up over and over again. So that's actually more tasks than usual, more events than usual. I did enjoy having the wider width. For example, when I was doing this in the weeks, I had it divided at the 1/3 mark, and that was a little jammed. So next, let's do day-specific tasks that I already know. That's going to be a little limited here, because I don't usually, that's usually something I know like 2 or so days in advance, not like way ahead of time. I'm not gonna have as much room for habits here. One of my habits is like my weekly cleaning routine, and I have like certain things I do on each day of the week, and I usually do it in the habit tracker, but actually they're all gonna have to be different. So so 5 is fewer than 6, if you can believe it. I do sometimes have 6 things, but often one of them is an event. So I think 5 is gonna be okay. That's how it seems to me. So I think that's gonna be fine. As I said, I don't really know a lot of this stuff kind of ahead of time. Let's work on my habit tracker. So in the Faded Chronicle, this line is not here. It's the full width, but I don't think I need it, and I might want this little list. So in my habit tracker / rolling weekly, I tend to like to divide things by different kinds of habits and just like group them a little bit because it makes it easier to see on my like eyes and find my place. But I think here I'm not gonna want to do that. I think there are something like 9 spots. I counted. They're the same. I think it's something like 9. So let's go ahead and write some of these in. All right, I was able to get all of the things in there. Normally I have these flipped in the opposite direction, days first, whatever, and then when I finish them for the week, I like draw a line to a thing that says this is done all the way. That's a little weirder here. Whatever, it's fine. It's not that big a deal. And I did confirm a lot of this stuff is shaded in the Faded Chronicle. All the headers and even like every other here in the weekly, so in the habit tracker. So just heads up for that for your own decorating considerations. All right, so now we've got events, tasks, habits. We need like lists. We need things like mail and errands, a place for tasks that are not day specific. I think I'm gonna make this be tasks. I'm gonna pick a slightly different color. I'm gonna do tasks here. And I think I'm gonna let it extend across down the page if I need to, across this border. And then here, I'm gonna do mail. I'm not really expecting much of anything, and errands. And then here we're gonna do my monthly habit tracker. Here, I'm gonna have books down here. Okay, I'm pretty sure that will be enough room for tasks. In the real one, there's like a shaded thing here. I think that'll be enough room for all of this. I kind of wish this box was not like divided. I think I'd rather have it be a place I could divide up myself. All the other ones feel fine. I guess I didn't actually put anything here. Maybe we'll put a sticker there then. But this is where I put once a week habits that I want the like satisfaction of seeing as a habit tracker across the month, if that makes sense. Possibly there'd be somewhere else in the planner that I could keep track of that sort of thing, but I tend to like it on my weekly page where I can see it. Honestly, a lot of things fitting really well here. This is pretty comfortable, honestly, for me in terms of all my spots have a place. I think this bit's a little weird. My preference, I think, would probably for all of this to be one container, but like, honestly, this fits just fine. I have been dedicatedly avoiding meal planning, so I can't write anything in there yet. I will. It's early Sunday morning. I will at some point soon, one assumes. Let's put some stickers down because I don't think we're going to be able to get a lot of stickers in a lot of places, but I think it'll be fun to like kind of see it decorated. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to put like a lot down, but I think it will be fun. So like this iced tea, let's put that. I don't think like I have a thing. I mean, like this would be a good spot in the actual planner here, it says like the week number here. I think this could be a good place for like a weekly intention or something. But I'm gonna put this peach iced tea, which feels like the perfect vibe. This is like a flat lay peach kind of. I'm gonna put that here. So my problem with containers, pre-made containers that I never use, which isn't exactly what's happening here, but in general, is like, oh, you can put a sticker here or whatever, which is great until you put stickers in the same place every time for weeks. I'm very excited for the Just Scribble one to test. Again, there are some containers I'm not sure I'm going to use, but the one I'm looking at is a quarterly planner, and so I don't worry quite so much about the bulk all being in the same place. I do know from this year that it takes about a quarter for things to get bad. So I expect by the end of the quarter, if I put things in the same place like I did here across the top, these stickers, that by a quarter it gets bad. I'm gonna have room here for something. Let's do the little camera. And then the nice thing about having the dailies is that will be like room for some stickers. But I think I'm just gonna like intersperse a couple like tiny things in some like interstitial bits. And that might be all I'm willing to do at this stage in the game. I could, well, on this planner, there's a big headspace here that I could put some more washi tape in, but I'm trying not to put stuff there across the top every week. She says, as she doesn't show you any weeks where she's done that. I've done it. This is a problem spot for me, so I'm not going to do that. But here we have my experimental Faded Chronicle. I was super excited when I saw this layout. I'm not going to mess with the back pages right now. I guess we can talk about them. So there's 6, and I don't entirely know how exactly I would most like to do 6. I thought I might not be able to get all of my information in all the containers here, in which case I might need to use some of the back space for like additional weekly. I don't think that's the case, in which case that just leaves me with 6 blank pages to use as dailies, which I really don't need a whole page per day, but I'm not entirely sure what to do with 6. Next week, when I do this, maybe I'll give you a quick report on this. I have recently been doing like daily longer lists in the back here, but like I need more space than just like the 5. These are like my headline tasks that I think about ahead of time. These are like my on the day, like just stupid little things that I need to remember to do tasks. So I do like having that, but I don't need 6 pages for that. So I could do 1 page a day. I can combine the weekend. There are no shortage of totally fine things I can do. I'm just not immediately sure which one I would choose. But when I first saw the Faded Chronicle, I was super excited about it. And then as I was drawing this out, I was a little less sure. But now as I've done it, I can see it. I think there's a lot to like. So as I said, I will put the link below to pre-order if this feels good to you too. I'm not sure that that's what I'm gonna get. It is a big chunky book, which is not my preference because I like to put the same things in places, and so I like actually switching books more often. That was a problem here in this planner, and I don't even have all the dailies in this one. So I'm not sure I'm gonna pre-order it, but it's a fun design and I like it, so go go check it out. And if it seems like the right thing for you, or if you have other thoughts or comments, feel free to leave them below. I would love to chat with you, and we can talk again very soon. Bye, friends.